Welcome back to the Britannia Coin Company. We're a coin dealer based in Royal Wootton Bassett in the UK, with cashless payments relentlessly on the rise and more places refusing to accept physical cash money. What's on the mind of lots of collectors is what the future of our hobby is. So today we're going to be speculating a bit and seeing what might happen. The cash landscape in the UK has been rapidly changing, with the Bank of England summarising that back in 2010 50% of transactions were done in cash, but today cash really is no longer king, making up only 17% of all payments back in 2020. This has also been reflected in modern times with the overall decrease in mintage figures for circulating coinage, and some denominations not being put into circulation at all for long stretches of time. What determines whether a coin gets made for our change is demand. The Treasury, banks and cash centres forecast the need for new coins to replace those which are taken out of circulation, whether that's by collectors, people saving into piggy banks, or those coins that are lost or damaged to the point of no longer being able to be used. With less and less cash being used in payment, the demand for coins really has been hit hard. If we take a look at the £2 coin for example, the last commemorative £2 coin which was put into circulation was the Great Fire of London coin, and that was back in 2016. In the last 7 years there has only been one other £2 coin minted for circulation, and that was the definitive Britannia back in 2021. Although none seem to have made it out into our chains just yet. This is probably down to the Royal Mint always keeping stocks of coins in their long store, a room which holds around £90 million at a time, although more as required. If there is sudden demand for a denomination, then there is always stock ready to be shipped out from their base in Llantrisant, South Wales, rather than having to mint coins as they are needed. With 7 years passing and only 6,045,000 new £2 coins being made, that's rather concerning. But what about relatively new coins though? The £1 coin we use today has only been in circulation since 2017. Although production began on it in 2016, ready for the switchover from the round pound coin to this new coin. The £2 coin by comparison has been used as it is in our pocket since 1997, so that's 26 years worth of demand having been supplied. The £1 coin saw huge quantities minted in 2016 and then 2017, with almost 650 million produced that first year and almost 750 million in the following. 2018 and 2019 saw just over 130.5 million and 138.5 million produced, so quite the drop. Then 2020 saw just 55.8 million and 2021 only 21.7 million £1 coins minted. We don't know any further years yet, as mintage figures tend to be delayed for a year or two after the fact. What we can see though is just over 7 years, a huge decrease in the requirement for this coin to be minted. If we look too at the 50p coins, a very popular denomination to collect. Up until 2017 all commemorative designs struck were circulated, but since then 69 different designs have been released, not including some variants with colours and without the definitive designs, along with a couple of other caveats to that number. Of that 69, only 15 got produced for circulation. Now, this is rather concerning for the future of commemorative coins in circulation, and it has turned people off of collecting coins, as for many, part of the fun is being able to find the design in your change, not just buying it. It could also turn off new collectors if less and less are produced for circulation or even used to make payments, because often it's one interesting design which catches the eye and then tempts people to look into either what the design is or whether it's got any value to it, and that can often lead to a more active interest in the hobby. But it's not all doom and gloom though. The future might be a smaller supply in our actual change, but the Royal Mint will still strike coins for collectors. As I said earlier, since 2016, no commemorative £2 coin has circulated, but there's been 27 designs and counting struck for collectors. This is a bit of a pivot in the history of the £2 coin, but it does mean that it seems that the Royal Mint would rather continue to commemorate events or individuals of importance to our country and release them to collectors as non-circulating coins, rather than miss out on certain celebrations purely because the coins won't go into circulation. In fact, what about the £5 coin? There's been a huge variety of commemorative £5 coins since the denomination changed from being a 25p crown to the £5 coin we know today back in 1990. The coin has never been one that is minted to be used actively in circulation, but there are still many designs struck each year and snapped up by collectors. So it would seem that should we eventually transition into an entirely cashless society, we will still see lots of new commemorative coins produced for us to buy and collect, even if it's not the same as finding them out in our change. Of course, there's also thousands of years of coins struck across the world throughout history. This is a huge part of coin collecting, and even though some of these coins haven't been used in centuries, most countries have a deep history which has been captured on these little metal discs which we choose to keep and collect. Just within the UK, there are so many different monarchs and their history minted onto our coins, from hammered coins of gold and silver or beautiful milled coins over time, leaves us with such a variance just within the coins of the UK, so that's really only scratching the surface of global numismatics. Other countries continue to mint coins again for use in circulation or for collectors as well. The USA produces quantities of coins which far outstrip the production for the UK due to their massive population and therefore demand for coins. In recent years, there has been so many commemorative coins, including the huge State and Park Quarters collection, which includes over 200 variants if you take into account the different mint marks as well. Which just goes to show you that there are always going to be affordable ways of purchasing or finding interesting coins even in a cashless society. There is of course bullion coins as well. Now we can't say for certain that in a cashless society that these will be produced to the level which they have been, but until now they have been a way that some people prefer to invest some of their savings. Especially over the years where interest rates have been so low, people have preferred to buy the precious metals and keep that over time, cashing out based on the value of the metal at a later date. These coins are by and large valued on the contents of the silver or gold or other precious metal which comprises them. So long as we as a society deem certain metals to be valuable, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people to buy and sell these over the years. It's not just bullion coins though that are bought by collectors for their metal content. There is also a range of silver, gold, platinum proof coins which are produced by the Royal Mint each year, which again, when coins aren't circulated, are still produced. Proof coins are the highest standard of coins produced by the Royal Mint, whereas bullion coins are struck with a keen eye to the efficiency of the creation process to keep costs as close to the value of the metals as is possible. More time and care is taken in the production of proof coins. These have a value over that of their face value or metal content because of the time and the artistry invested into creating them. It isn't an exact science as to which of these tend to increase in value with the passing of time, but they are still purchased in large quantities each year. Usually a coin will be struck in a range of standards, and some of these releases will get extremely large versions, such as this coin. It's a £5,000 face value 5 kilogram gold coin, which was minted as part of Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee range. Although with a face value of £5,000, it's actually worth £750,000. Now, not many collectors, myself included, have pockets deep enough to purchase one of these, but it does demonstrate that decent sums of cash can be made from a coin even if it's not going to be used in circulation. Imagine trying to use this to pay your bus fare. One thing we do know is going to be happening in the short-term future is the change of the portrait on our coins. For the last 70 years, Queen Elizabeth II has featured on the obverse or head side of our coins, but now into 2023, which will be the first complete year of the reign of King Charles III, his portrait is going to start featuring on coins. It may take a little while for his portrait to be readily circulated because, like I said, the long store at the Royal Mint is absolutely chock-a-block full of coins which we can safely assume still have the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, having been struck during her reign. The new Memorial 50p, which was the first of its kind to feature King Charles III's portrait and the first of his coinage to be circulated, was fast-tracked straight from the Royal Mint out into change. So it'll be interesting to see how long the stock of Queen Elizabeth II coins at the Royal Mint lasts before they've all been put out into circulation and it's just the coins of King Charles III to come out. That is assuming they don't just melt down the Queen Elizabeth II coinage to be replaced with King Charles III's. So then, although cash transactions are in steady decline, there's still great opportunity for coin collectors and the coins to be struck for us to purchase as well. I'd love to know if you have any thoughts and would like to add to the conversation on the future of coin collecting, then let me know down in the comments. It'd make for a fascinating read. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. It's free to do and it means you won't miss out on any of our future uploads. There's also links in the description of this video over to our website for some of the coins that we featured throughout the video. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram where we post lots of pictures of our coins. We're on Twitter and TikTok. We have our shop and online store, and I'll see you next time for more amazing coins from the Britannia Coin Company.